top of the line. They're like stopping way back, like far away. Anyway, so basically what happened was I had to reverse my car going backwards, and then there's this little turn lane that goes off to the right, but it's it's like separated from the straight lane, so I had to back up to the part where I could get back to where I could go into the turn lane. Got into the turn lane, turned and went down a ways to make a U-turn to come back through the other intersection part so that I could actually go where I needed to go. Anyways, so my whole point of this is, so I'm driving along and there's a police officer in the street from that direction. And he kind of is like, telling me to stop because I'm approaching him. And now this is quite a ways down because there wasn't a place to do a U-turn yet. So I had to drive quite a ways. And he comes over to my window. He's like, sorry about that, but there's a bunch of baby alligators in the road crossing the street.
The heck?
I know. And I was like, oh.
Casually.
He's like, yes.
Florida.
He's like, I didn't see the mom anywhere, so I kind of just helped them cross the street. And I was like, oh my gosh, you're brave.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah. So anyways, so he was doing that. And then I ended up going down and making my U-turn, coming back. And that car was still sitting there at the light. And I couldn't believe it. I was like, how could you not put two and two together that you are the only person not moving? You're not getting a green light because you're not moving forward up to trigger the light. I don't know.
Oh man. That's messed up.
Yeah, it's a pet peeve.
And then you almost got eaten by a gator because
and then
that mom could have come out of the underbrush. I mean, the babies aren't going to eat you. Come on, Lisa, be reasonable.
My poor little toes. There was enough gators for each toe. Like the little baby gators could have just like choop 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 choop. But it would have been like,
if they were all feeding, but from your toes.
Right. But I had police protection, so I felt safe. True. Yeah, so it was all good.
I saw a video of a guy that was fishing, and this gator just came up after him. Like came out of the water, like where he was. He was just kind of like in some brush, like fishing in kind of like a more remote area of a canal or waterway. Mm-hmm. And this big old gator ran up on the shore after him. And he like stumbles back into the brush and like,
oh my god, how terrifying!
He has some interesting choices though. He like at a certain point he like turns around and like the gator kind of stopped advancing at that point, but he just kind of stands there and looks at it. He's like, man, that was crazy. The gator's just like staring back at him, and he's like stomping at it, like get out of here. He's already said like, I guess my fishing's done. So I'm like, what are you going back for? Like, do you leave your tackle box or something?
Oh, possible.
But the gator was not having it. It was like, oh, you want to go? He like came after him again. He's like, ah! Took off running.
That's just crazy. Yeah.
People were theorizing he must have been like fishing next to its nest or
must have been. Or, he was hungry and he saw a fish and he was like, hey, I'll take that.
He didn't have any though. His fish got away. And then it was like a little while later, the gator just came up. I mean, I don't know. He could have caught fish earlier, but then why wouldn't he stop for the fish? I don't know. Unless he was wearing the fish. I don't know. Hard to tell from a GoPro.
It is hard. Yeah, I mean, who knows what it was. Sometimes gators can be aggressive, but usually they just want to stay away. But I mean, if he was being aggressive, maybe he thought, oh, you want to go? You want to fight? Okay.
I mean, at first he was just there fishing, but I don't know. Maybe the gator was like, what's he doing over there? We're waggling a stick at me.
Waggling?
Get him.
You're waggling a stick.
Stop waggling that stick at me.
We don't like the waggles.
We don't like the waggles here.
We don't like those waggle sticks. Yeah, I wouldn't fish. I don't know. Like, I just Florida lakes are. I think that we are getting an overpopulation of gators here. I feel like
I think we talked about this 2 podcasts ago too. We're really we're bringing back the old combos. Let's do it. We have
one-track minds. Sorry about that. But so let's talk about stickers on products. Because this is a problem. And I did put out a TikTok PSA about this issue because I think it's essential activist content.
Sure.
Where else is better to reach people than TikTok? So I made a TikTok about the problem with people who put stickers on products like, like the price, the barcodes, things like that. But they always seem to put them in the most inconvenient place on a product. Like the part of the product that you would least want the sticker to be. And they always make the stickers like super, super sticky. And also, if you've ever tried to
disintegrate.
if you've ever tried to peel off a sticker, it's got all these like cuts in the sticker. So it doesn't just come off in one sticker. There's like cuts that go into the middle of the sticker. So it's like 4 parts to a sticker, or they have like these circles in the sticker. And I'm thinking, okay, well, I understand.
They're just messing with you now.
Yeah. It's like, what kind of cruel joke is this? And some people did respond to my TikTok and said, it's for security. It's for theft.
So people can't like peel it off.
I mean, you could put it anywhere on the product. You don't have to put it, I don't know. And then also, like, let's say
have you tried warm soapy water?
Okay. Well, you're getting into the solutions, and that's great.
Soapy solutions.
Soapy solutions. Yeah, soap works pretty good. And I have Goo Gone. So it's not the end of the world. These are small life problems. It's not, the end of the world.
But look, it didn't have to be a problem in the first place.
But it's a waste of my freaking time is all I'm saying. Spending 30 minutes on a sticker to get all of the goo and the little pieces off, and like, it's just a whole process. It's like, what?
And if you use the Goo Gone, it's like, it always leaves the oily film on it.
And that smell?
Mm-hmm. Well, that smells great. I mean,
No, it does not.
I season my tacos with that. My fajitas.
Anyways, that's my sticker
That's your
rant.
gripe?
That's my gripe.
You know what my rant is?
What?
I can't believe Publix. They should be ashamed of themselves.
Urgh.
They're canceling our pub subs on sale guy. There's a guy, he has our Publix chicken tender subs on sale.com and he runs this wonderful website that alerts people to the best deals at Publix, which is one deal, which is if Publix chicken tender subs are on sale or not.
Okay.
And this man, he scours, I assume, the Publix website and or coupon booklet, and he finds out when the sales are going to be, and he updates his website to show either yes or no when you go to that website.
Are you serious? Like, what's wrong with that?
What's that?
What's wrong with that? Why are they canceling him?
Well, okay, he's expanded a little bit. He's got a Twitter for the most up-to-date and timely information. He also seems to have expanded to having a paid SMS service, and now they're just kind of like, nah, stop.
So he's monetizing this situation. Is that the problem?
I suppose that's the problem, but I think they're also shutting down his Twitter, which wasn't really doing anything. And it's just kind of one of those situations where it's like, why? Like, it was just telling people about their sale. So they were getting more customers.
Yeah, there must be more to this story.
And it's also kind of a meme. Like, people love that this guy is a thing. And like, he makes his site very memey. Like, they're all like ridiculous. Like, it is Wednesday, my dude memes. And people just think it's absurd, but they also love it. And every time Publix chicken tender subs come up online, somebody like throws that link out there for our Publix chicken tender subs on sale.com. And it looks absurd because listen to it. And people go like, what the heck is this site? And they love it. And it just adds to the like cultish attitude of the types of people that love Publix chicken tender subs. Because if you're not a Florida native, you might not know that there's a bit of a cult following for our chicken tender subs here, made by the grocery store Publix. So yeah.
Wow, yeah, that's
my
crazy.
Rant.
I wonder why. You're apparently part of this following. You're part of the cult.
Well, I mean, the chicken tender subs are pretty great. I mean, pub subs in general, decent. The Publix chicken tender subs are very decent. But I think part of it is the meminess of it, right? Like, there's the cult following that people love to be part of this stupid thing that has these meme sites and jokes that they send around, like, ooh, puppy chicky tendies, they on sale. And everybody runs out and grabs their puppy chicky tendies. And, like, it's a fun little thing. And Publix, a rare form, because they're usually pretty quiet. And if they ever are, like, make a statement on something or whatever, they're pretty, like, customer forward. So it's kind of weird that they're like, no, stop it. You can't go telling people about our chicken tender sub sales. I wonder if they're so popular, honestly, that they're like, we need to calm down. Like, we can't stop doing the Publix chicken tender sub sale, obviously. Right. because like people love it, but we can't keep like, maybe they're going bankrupt. Maybe it's like they're running them out. Maybe it's like they're taking a big loss whenever they go on sale for the Chicken Tendy subs, and they're like, oh gosh, we're losing all this money. How much could it cost for Chicken Tender subs though, honestly?
I mean, they're not, I don't think there's no way that is the reason. It's got to be something else. It's got to be some legal like thing where he's probably using their name or I don't know. It's got to be something. That's the only thing I could think of. Why would they go after some random guy about his love of subs and their subs? He's basically like giving them a pat on the back and saying, hey, Publix, you're doing a good thing. I want to reward you. And then they're like, no, you're canceled.
Yeah, I know, right?
I don't think so. But I do appreciate your vivacious...
investigative journalism on that?
Well, just that your passion for feeling the pain for people in this situation. You know, like you're upset, you're angry for the people. And I get that. I appreciate it. Yeah, that's a legitimate rant, and I support you.
Yeah, thank you. I guess it was just double checking the Publix Chicken Tender subs account. Yeah, the Twitter account was shut down by Publix lawyers. Huh. Bizarre.
It is bizarre. It's bizarre that they didn't give a reason, too.
They received a cease and desist order from Publix objecting to a related text messaging notification service.
So it had something to do with the service that he was doing on the side, maybe?
I guess.
I don't know.
That's rough.
He was in some shady stuff, I guess.
Oh, shady, underhanded Chicken Tendy sub sales.
That's right.
Maybe he had black market Chicken Tendy subs.
Black market? Yeah, you never know.
That sounds like something I wouldn't eat.
Oh, that's funny.
Especially since the main ones are $6 when they're on sale. So anyways, yeah, that's too bad. But thank you for noticing my journalism. I am actually been doing a lot of journaling lately.
Have you?
I've been having my gratification journal, and so remember I told you I got that journal from I'm gonna pull it out here. Whoop, pull it out of my desk just because I want the visual aid. You know, I want to see it.
Sure.
So I told you about this podcast, this other podcast's notebook that I got.
Yeah. And
wow, it's so nice. It's got this nice cover and everything. And it's just really been nice waking up every morning, getting into it. Sometimes I do it in the evening or whenever, but usually, you know, in the morning, and then just like sitting down with a cup of coffee, writing down, filling out the first segment with things I'm grateful for, then tasks in the next section, and just general notes for the rest of the page.
So basically, you think about me every single morning.
Mm-hmm. Every single gratification is something to do with you.
Yeah, I would assume. Mm-hmm. So do you want to shout out this podcast that you got their journal from? So
sure. It was from the Cortex podcast. It's not really a plug. Well, it didn't mean to be, but I guess it is now.
Well, it means that you love it so much.
It is very nice. And they did go through a lot to get it. And it is, they catalog their adventure on across several of their episodes. So go check them out. Pretty cool. Cool. It is interesting to hear somebody talk about bringing a product to fruition. I do a physical product. That's just kind of like, you know, something that an ordinary person might not really think about as being like a big deal, but like, how would you get something like a journal out to, like, you know, several thousand people that want it? It's like, how do you, like, who do you go to? Like, how do you get paper? Like, how do you make sure it's good? Like, it's interesting to hear him talk about it a little bit. I love
stuff like that. Yeah. I listen to a lot of those, like, how I built this and like business podcasts and stuff that talk about stuff like that. It's so fascinating. Yeah.
To be clear, the podcast isn't about building a journal. It's just something that came up along. It's kind of a productivity and like work and I guess lifestyle podcast sort of thing. So, and then they just kind of naturally were like, oh, maybe people would like a journal for all these ideas that they're having while they're listening.
So it has a section for gratification, or is it just like a blank one that you kind of just choose what you fill in?
So they have it's loosely structured. They have something called the theme system that they push forward in the forward section. And it is a really cool system. They talk about it a lot on their podcast. But I haven't really been following that too closely. I just have been kind of trying to enjoy the process of taking a daily note rather than like, you know, because it was kind of like, am I even going to keep up with this? Like, do I need to, you know, it's kind of like one of those woo-woo things. It's like, write down things I'm grateful for. Like, is that really even going to be beneficial? Is this going to be a waste of every like bit of my morning? Like, I'm just going to sit down and be like, all right, what, I don't know. Like, what are some things? But no, it's been nice to take stock in the morning, kind of think about like, what's good? What's been good, you know?
Yeah. I mean, they've done studies on this and shown that people who take time to do that every day have a great, you know, there's great results in terms of their success and their health and obviously their happiness, because if they're focusing on good things, that's usually makes them in a mindset that, you know, helps them with their happiness. So, you know, what is that saying? It's like, what is that?
I love
like,
that saying.
Yeah, that thing where it's like, if you think of good things will happen. Something like that. Oh, yeah.
Positivity thinking.
Yeah. Oh, it's like, that just almost came to me. Something about the good gets better.
You sound like George W. Bush when he was like, you fool me, you can't, fooled can't get fooled again.
Yeah. Oh, no, it's focus on the good and the good gets better. That's it. It was so simple, but so
words to live
complicated.
By. But you can't quite figure out the right combination.
Yeah, I couldn't figure it out. But yeah, so that's good. That's good that you're doing that.
Yeah, it's been a blast. And it's nice just to you know, get into a rhythm that I keep up with and that works out, you know. Yeah, each morning it's been consistent and it's like, oh, this is a thing that sticks. Feels nice to like a little accomplishment. I'm gonna write that in tomorrow's grateful section.
Oh, good. Yeah. I mean,
this journal.
There's like there like one of the studies that I remember, they were saying that gratitude actually, like doing gratitude every day, changes your brain. I think it was like it changed the way that your brain develops or shifts. I mean, obviously it can't change the way it develops if you're already developed, but it changes the way that your brain
that like new
works.
Pathways are formed.
Yeah,
probably.
like new, like it helps you with your memory. It helps clarification. It helps reduce cortisol levels, so it improves like, well, just clarity of thinking, but also, you know, the pathways that. I mean, obviously, I need to do it because my brain pathways are not functioning well right now.
See. You need to take your echinacea.
But
so your mylar should stop degrading.
Yeah, I don't know. It's something like, yeah, like just how it just kind of clears your brain up so that you can focus on the things that matter. It focuses your brain on like your priorities and, you know, what's important, I guess. Let me look up actually to see like if there's any specific brain changes. Okay. So let's see. It says, most interestingly, when we compared those who wrote the gratitude letters or in their gratitude journal with those who didn't, the gratitude letter writers showed greater activation in the medial prefrontal cortex when they experienced gratitude in the MRI scanner. This is striking, as this effect was found 3 months after the letter writing began. This indicated that simply expressing gratitude may have lasting effects on the brain. While not conclusive, this finding suggests that practicing gratitude may help train the brain to be more sensitive to the experience of gratitude down the line, and this could contribute to improved mental health over time.
Could also be like, I don't know, I'm just trying to think about the process there. And like, obviously this was done as a study. So I feel like if you go in for a study, like, and they're like, hey, write down some things you're grateful for. And then that's kind of, you spend some time and you're like, oh, this is nice. I'm thinking about like nice things. And then like you associate that with the medical study, and then you go in for another thing, and then you're associating like gratitude with it, so to speak.
Yeah.
And so when you're in the MRI, you're thinking like, oh yeah, and because of this, I thought of all those things I was grateful for or whatever. I feel like there might be a little stronger correlation than they realize, but
true. And also it does say that the study involved 300 adults, mostly college students who were seeking mental health counseling.
Oh, okay. So they, at a baseline were probably receptive to counseling and stuff. But
yeah, like improved mental health.
Yeah, working on their mental health.
Yeah, but they obviously had some people who did it and some people who didn't. And it just said that people who did it showed an improvement versus people who didn't. So, I mean, that would make sense anyway. But, yeah. So, yeah, cool. I recommend it. It's good to think about positive things.
You know what I recommend?
What?
Dr. Pepper cream soda zero.
Dr. Pepper cream soda. I've yet to find a Dr. Pepper cream soda.
Okay, so what? Hold on, just a base one?
Just any, yeah. I haven't been able
like
to find that anywhere.
Not even a diet one?
Yeah, nothing.
Oh, I'll drop one by. They're all over the place. I like that they're pushing it because it is pretty delicious.
Sounds good.
Mean, yeah, I mean it is. Dr. Pepper's awesome by itself, but
so is cream soda.
So is cream soda, and mixing them together, it's like, whoa, nice. You never always think. Mixing the darks and the lights is going to be like of drinks is going to be a nice experience. Like it always feels like you want to go with like, oh, I'm going to mix a Sprite and a Mountain Dew or something, or a Coke and a root beer. You never like, oh, let me mix a Sprite and a Coke. Like that would be weird. But yeah, I mean it's delicious. But that aside, I was like, okay, but it's cream soda's delicious. Like many things that are delicious, super bad for you.
Yeah.
So how do I get that, but not be disgusting and fat? And I go to look in Publix, and what do I find? Very many versions of diet. In fact, they have, standard diet Dr. Pepper, standard. Also, there's another thing. I usually don't really like diet drinks that much, but Dr. Pepper is exceptionally good at being delicious full flavor and in diet form. But yeah, so I'm looking at these different diet options they have there. They have a diet Dr. Pepper with cream soda. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
And they have a Dr. Pepper with cream soda zero sugar.
Okay.
So what's the difference?
Okay.
Like the cream soda, the diet cream soda has like 0 calories, right? And the diet cream soda zero sugar, also 0 calories.
Okay.
And they both contain aspartame as their sweetener.
Yes. Yeah.
So what's the deal? Like I know there's Coke, there's Diet Coke, and then they did like they did Coke Zero, right? And it's like a different formula or whatever.
Yes. Whoa, who's squeaking
I had to
back
grab
there?
a squeaker.
Yeah, you. Oh, sorry, I had to reach back and squeak my squeak toy. Excuse me.
So the difference is, let me tell you, there's a huge difference. So I don't like Coke Zero as much. I think it's really airy. I feel like it's like they added in a bunch of Starbuck just climbed over me to try and get the toy.
Aww.
I'm sorry, baby.
We love a dog.
Just a minute.
We love a dog in our podcast.
Just wait, Starbuck. I'll be with you momentarily. So it's pretty bad. I really don't like Coke Zero. I feel like it's very airy. I feel like I'm drinking a cloud instead of a soda, and I feel like I'm just burping all the time, and there's like 0 flavor because it's like air.
Yes.
It's weird. That's just me personally. Some people love Coke Zero. They prefer it. And I will admit, I don't really like Diet Coke that much. So, maybe I'm just sparking up the wrong tree here. But let me tell you, Coke or Dr. Pepper with cream soda, 0 sugar. It's got a black can, so it looks very much like a Coke Zero situation. Way better than the Diet Dr. Pepper with cream soda.
You like it way
I did a taste
better.
test. I did a blind taste test.
Mm-hmm.
There's a definitive winner. I had multiple participants in this blind taste test. I sampled 5 people, and I think it was unanimous that the Coke or the Dr. Pepper with 0 sugar and cream soda was the winner, the clear winner there.
Interesting.
Oh my God, she found another one.
She knows where they're hidden. She's like, how dare you take my squeaky toy? Least do you know, I have them stashed everywhere.
It's funny because it's the exact same toy. I bought her another one because she loved it so much.
Yeah.
And yeah, so she was like, oh, okay, you're going to take that one? That's like when you take your kid's Game Boy away or whatever, and they just go find the older version.
Yes. Yeah, right. Exactly. Like, how you can't fool me.
God, I'm such an old man that I just said reserved. You take your kid's Game Boy away. Like, they still have Game Boys.
I know. They do, but they're not used.
That's like when my mom would be like, you better not talk back to me or I'll take your Nintendo away. And I'm like, Mom, I have an Xbox 360. Thank you very much. How dare you call it a Nintendo? I did have a Nintendo GameCube, though.
Nintendo is the game console of choice, but you know.
But it was more the spirit in which it was said. Like I know that she didn't mean like a Nintendo GameCube, or she wasn't talking about like, oh, I'm going to take your Wii away. It was like she meant the like NES original like gray and black striped like brick. She was like, I'm going to take that away. And I'm like, Mom,
that's the thing. How insulting.
That's in a museum right now.
That makes me feel
How dare
old.
you?
So I found out that the key difference between Diet Coke and Coke Zero is one single chemical.
Oh, really?
Yep, just one.
What was the purpose of it? Because you're probably going to say some crazy long thing, and I'm going to be like, okay.
What's the purpose of the chemical?
Yeah, like, is it a sweetener? Is it a like?
Well, it says Coke. It says zero sugar. The Coke, the zeros, features sodium citrate. So zero has sodium citrate, and Diet Coke has citric acid. So that's the only difference. And it says.
So I wonder if the acid is more acidic, or if the other thing is basically just an acid too.
It says both drinks are sugar-free and calorie-free, but Coke Zero Sugar looks and tastes more like Coca-Cola, while Diet Coke has a different blend of flavors, which gives it a lighter taste.
I wonder, I should go, you know what I should do? I should get a Coke Zero, and I should just let it go flat and see if I like it then.
Maybe. I don't know. But they do say that they both contain aspartame, and some experts say that is worse than sugar. So,
yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, yeah, I go back and forth.
I know Mike can't drink it. He can't have aspartame. We tried getting him onto these like diet, well, the Crystal Light drinks. Do you remember those? They're like, it's like a powder.
Yeah, what the heck?
Anyway.
Oh,
yeah.
no. I was thinking of what is that? I don't know why that would even for an instant I would think that was the situation, but I was thinking of like Coke. No, it was Pepsi Crystal. Is that what it was called? This was like from the 70s, so it's like not even a thing that's Pepsi Crystal. Yeah, Pepsi Crystal.
Oh,
Crystal
yes.
Pepsi.
I do actually. Yeah, I do remember that.
How disconcerting.
That was a nice memory, though. A nice connection.
You were like, those crystal drinks.
Those.
And obviously that's what you meant.
Do you know how like Coke used to have like the drug in it? Coke?
Right.
Crystal Pepsi had crystal meth.
Yeah,
they had to compete somehow.
Like, we got the meth heads. Woo!
That's how they distinguished each other. Or maybe it was just like a joke to
nod.
Yeah, like a nod to it. But anyway, this like Crystal Light. It's like a lemonade kind of thing.
Yeah,
but it's like a powder. Yeah. Anyway, he would drink those and get these massive migraines. And he couldn't figure it out at first. He's like, why am I keep getting headaches? And then we narrowed it down to that. And then we realized like anytime he drinks anything that has aspartame in it, he gets a really bad headache. So then he started researching it. And basically they said that they can't prove that aspartame causes headaches, but it does increase it basically does the complete opposite of what an aspirin would do. So it's like... obvious, like it increases the levels of inflammation and like it does all these things that is like the complete opposite. It increases your blood sugar. I don't know. So he's like,
wait, it increases your blood sugar? Isn't that like the whole point that it doesn't?
Well, apparently it does. So I don't know. It increases blood sugar levels and inflammation and like I don't remember exactly, but it basically is like the recipe for a headache. So it made sense that it was, the same. So he can't have any of that. But
fascinating.
Yeah, but I still want to try that Coke, that Dr. Pepper. I might get the original. Oh, it's great. Just to taste
You get the original? Oh, yeah. Because you got to start with the original.
I don't drink. I drink maybe like one soda every like maybe 3 or 4 months. I only have like maybe there's so many reasons why. I think we talked about this before. Just like the shock of the bubbles in my mouth is just like jarring. This
is the bubble tea situation all over again.
Oh, kind of, but it's like burning. It like burns my mouth and my throat because I drink it. So it's like,
yeah, no, I get that.
But the flavor is always, well, not always. I mean, it depends on.
You gotta sip it a little slowly.
I like it. Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta ease into it.
True. So it's more the fizziness of it, and also I get like my stomach can't handle like fizzy drinks very well. I get really gassy, basically, and it's like I don't want to go through that. So
some people love that though, and you get to burp.
I guess, but I prefer not to. So that's just me.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Don't judge me, y'all.
I will.
I know you will. It's okay.
You're like, I was talking to everybody else.
I was talking to the strangers. Okay. Yeah. So anything else going on? Any new, I don't know, things?
Getting close to that closing date.
Yeah. That's like so exciting. Like, it's always so nice when you have your own kind of control and you own, not necessarily it's just that you own a house, but just that you own
a little slice of America just for me.
Kind of, yeah. And it's yours. So it's like, it feels more, I don't know, just like you can just be yourself. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. I'll be in it and I'll be like, nah. Nobody can tell me not to do this. I'll be like Kevin McAllister when he was left at home and he was like eating all the ice cream and stuff. He's like,
yes,
I'm eating junk food before dinner. Somebody better come down and pound me.
Exactly. Yes, that's going to be you. That's going to be the best feeling. Oh, I feel so happy for you. Yeah, I can't wait till your housewarming party so that I can come see it.
Yeah, I mean, it might be a while before I'm even in it because I might do some light renovations.
Yeah, that makes sense.
We'll see.
You do what you got to do, and
I will do what I gotta do.
And we'll just be living vicariously through you, all of us.
It's a wild time.
Yeah, it's exciting. You have so much going on. It's a good time to be alive.
To think I was unengaged man last year.
Unengaged, homeless, jobless.
Not quite, but
I'm just throwing out everything. Okay, no, that wasn't true.
Toothless.
You were toothless?
Well, if you're throwing out everything, throw out
true.
my teeth.
Yeah, okay. You were bald and
it's like you see that commercial during the Super Bowl of Jason Momoa where he hangs up all his muscles and everything.
Ew, yes, it's so gross.
Down. Or takes off his
weird.
Takes off his wig.
How wouldn't that be? If that were real, imagine that. Oh my gosh, did you see there's actually something they're selling now? It's the COVID bod. It's literally that.
COVID bod. What?
It's like a man's toned body that you wear like over your body because like basically you've been stuck inside for so long that all of your muscles have, atrophied and you're basically like skin and bones and whatever. And so the point is, or like you have like the dad bod type, whatever. And so they're selling this like bodysuit for men. I don't think they have one for women. I've only seen the male version, but it's basically like toned muscles and stuff, but it's made to look like your real skin and you just wear it over your regular body. I don't know. Yeah.
Weird.
Pretty weird.
That sounds like it'd be disconcerting. It'd be like that weird, like uncanny valley situation. Man, I was pretty impressed by that meme going around of the guy that has his own face like printed onto his mask, and people are like telling him to put his mask up, but he's like, "No, this is my mask."
Yeah,
that was pretty convincing.
That was pretty good. Yeah,
it's amazing just how ready people are to accept somebody's face, even if it looks like a little wrong.
That's true. Yeah, they would get so mad. Or like, but some of those faces are pretty funny. They're like cartoons, but they make your face look like a cartoon. So would you wear this half bodysuit? I feel like they had a full one too, but maybe not.
Well, give me a link or something.
I did. I sent it in the Discord.
I don't see it. Oh, I sent
thing
I see is the nut pods.
I sent it to Mike. So he'd be like, "What are you trying to say? You want me to order that?" Anyway, sorry about that.
Excellent. Wow, look at this guy. He's even got like those not the ab lines, but the those like little lines like where your legs meet your torso.
Oh yeah,
you know
like
what I'm talking
about. They're like the hip.
Yeah, you need like
the hip
the hip lines, and you're like takes like 0% body fat to get that.
Yeah, I've Mike responded. He said, "I can take a hint."
Wow,
that's funny. I'm sorry about that.
Rough stuff.
Yeah, well,
you owned him.
I owned him. He's probably going to be shamed for the rest of. He's gonna. Well, maybe this will kickstart a healthy lifestyle.
Did you you a big Resident Evil fan? Did you hear about Lady Dimitrescu? However you're supposed to pronounce that?
No, I don't. I know. I am. I do like Resident Evil, but I'm not a big major fan.
Everybody's hot for this this big lady.
Okay,
she's like you Googled her?
Yeah.
How did you know how to spell it based on what I?
I think that the internet heard you. Because when I went to type, all I typed was lady, and it automatically
that's what I'm saying.
Out.
It's hot. It's hot right now. People are like, "Ooh, yeah, she's
a mutant human countess and the matriarch of the Dimitrescu family, a native of the Eastern European country. She inherited Castle Dimitrescu. I don't know how to spell. I don't know how to pronounce that.
Dimitrescu.
A fortress controlled by the family since its medieval inception for at least 70 years between 1950s and 2020s. She was tied to a series of violent homicides. Yikes. Spooky.
Yeah, well, she's definitely an evil antagonist.
But I don't understand. Is she new to the...
Yeah.
I didn't even know Resident Evil was still like...
It just came out like 2 days ago.
Oh, is it like a movie?
It's Resident Evil Village.
Oh, the movie. I mean, the video game.
Yeah.
Okay.
They've gone through a pretty big like reboot. They even like remade the older games in the new style, and people are loving it.
Dang, she looks pretty creepy.
Yeah, it's gotten like good horror. I mean, like those games are like spooky, and they always have like a kind of menacing antagonist, like Lady Dimitrescu or somebody like that. That's like just a freaking tank that like walks through the level after you, and you pretty much can't do anything about it, and you have to like basically accomplish other things while they're trying to find and murder you.
That's crazy. See, I don't know. I don't mind watching somebody else play a game like that, but I don't know if I could immerse myself in there with the total like shock value constantly. Like I get scared when I get spooked really easily. As far as like if Mike walks into my room and I don't know it for a second, I'll be like, oh, you're right there. I mean, I don't know. I get spooked easy. So I don't know. Not that, I can watch horror movies. That's the thing is like, I feel like I could watch somebody do it, but I'd be really on edge if I were to do it. I don't know. But I'm sure it's going to come out on Twitch. Like people on Twitch are going to be playing it. So I can just kind of like watch.
Yeah, it's great to watch.
I love first.
You can tell somebody's good at a horror game when they put in those little things to make you feel super unsafe. Like there's safe rooms in the game to let you kind of like get a little breather and like save without being worried that you're gonna accidentally save right before you get killed or something. So there's little safe rooms that usually have like some upgrades or like some equipment to make medicine or something like that.
Yeah.
In it, and then you can kind of run in there and be like, whew, like take a breather.
Yeah,
but
should.
The thing is, if you wait in there too long, sometimes it's very, very rare, they'll like kick in the door.
Yeah, they're probably like, you need to just keep on playing the game. You can't just hide out in here forever.
But it's great to think that like you're never 100% safe.
That's true. That's the thing. But that's what they want. They want to keep you on edge.
Yeah. You never want to feel like, oh, okay, I'm just going to like put down the controller. I'm going to get a drink or something. Like you feel like, ugh, like
yes.
You gotta be
Okay. So this brings up like a thing. So I have always been curious about, this is like my like social curiosity about people and their habits. And so one of the things that people say that they do when, like as a like hobbies are typically things you do outside of work or like, outside of stressful situations. Not that everybody's job is stressful or anything, but you kind of, it's an escape, right? And I've never really understood why things like sports, video games, like extreme sports, like I'm talking like watching sports versus like actually engaging in extreme sports that, you know, they cause anxiety and stress. So I think like, how is that your escape / stress relief to like, I love watching a sports game, and then the whole entire game they're on edge like, oh my gosh, oh no,
it's like watching a horror movie almost. I think there's something exhilarating about being in like immersed in anxiety basically for something that's like not really life-threatening or anything for you. It's like almost like a vicarious kind of anxiety, where it's like there's no real consequence if you lose or whatever, or if like the protagonist gets murdered or whatever in a horror movie, but it's like it's this kind of like way to be like, oh, like something matters, but I don't really have to like take it home with me or like you know, go to bed still feeling like, ah, oh, dang it. Although probably a lot of people do. They do get into it.
Yeah, well, see, that I can understand. So like, you know, for Halloween, you kind of go to haunted houses, or, you know, once you might try bungee jumping to get this rush, or, you know, things like that, where it's kind of like an occasional thing. But when it becomes your daily escape or your weekend thing, your go-to thing, that's what's weird to me. Is like, why are you spending every what's the word? Just like your free time stressing yourself out more? I feel like your cortisol levels are never going to go down. I don't know. It seems.
Think of your cortisol level.
Think of your cortisol. I don't know. It's not. I'm not like judging it necessarily. Like it's a curiosity thing. Like I wonder if there's like a psychological element to it. If it's so much of an escape, you know, like it distracts you so much because it's like you have to really get into something to get that intense about it. So maybe it's like immersing themselves into a different reality, you know, even if it is so like maybe it has to be that stressful in order for them to be able to escape into it, I guess is what I'm getting at. Like maybe like a low key chill situation won't be enough for them to get their mind off of whatever is really stressing them out. I don't know.
Yeah, it's the kind of situation that I think is similar for gamers, you know, that like people get pretty worked up and frustrated and stuff like when they're in a game and somebody kills them or something, you know, you can get like, some people get so upset they like throw their controllers against the wall. Well, I don't necessarily think that getting that upset's healthy. I think there is like something to, you know, investing yourself and feeling like, I don't know, like you're building something in a way that makes you feel like, oh, okay, like this matters and like I can affect it in some way, or like in the sense of like a sporting event or something, you can like gain a tribal like brotherhood with like other kinds of people that will, you know, get excited about the same kind of things and stuff, and you can have that shared experience, and it really feels like it matters because like when people get into it, they get into it, and they like really, it's not like, I don't know, it kind of gets blasé if you have like other kinds of media where people just kind of like passively are like, oh yeah, that was okay, or like I didn't enjoy that so much, or like whatever. Like people get into it, you know, they like paint their face and they go to the arena and they like scream.
Yeah,
it's like the kind of thing that really like draws you in and like makes it something meaningful rather than just like kind of a passive, like not everything has to be relaxing, you know, some things you feel like you want to be excited about.
Of course, yeah. And I maybe part of it too is that I'm not jealous necessarily. Like jealousy is not the right, and envious.
You're just jealous.
Yeah, it's not even like I don't know. It's kind of like I just don't understand it, and so now I'm like what could I get that passionate about? Like get that really into, but also but also too, I am concerned because I'm like, I do feel also just that, gosh, it just seems so stressful. It just seems so, sometimes, not always, sometimes it's excitement, you know, like a sports, whatever, if we're talking about sports, but other times I'm like, why do you put yourself through this? Why do you get so upset and emotional or whatever it is that they get over something? Or like sometimes I'm watching Twitch streamers with their video games, you know, like they get really, really angry and really like frustrated and really, if they can't like beat a level or beat a time and I know that they're challenging themselves and it's like I understand that, but I guess it's just, yeah, I don't know. I just think like, well, if it's that painful, why do you keep putting yourself through it, I guess? I don't know. Maybe there's some human reason why and not to say that I don't put myself through pain, because I definitely have in the past, and I do probably daily that people just do that. I wonder if there's like a human element to that where it's like there's because pain and pleasure are so closely connected that there's a reward system there regardless. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, I mean, it's probably like the same kind of thing if, people are willing to get really into a sport that they might get injured, practicing like, skateboarding or something or soccer, and they, end up breaking their leg or something. And, you can get hurt and you can, get frustrated and you can experience all these things. But then like there's something like sports and like, I guess watching sports and playing games and stuff that is more of a like safer way to engage in the same sort of excitement and investment type thing that takes a little bit from you as well as giving you a sense of enjoyment.
Mm-hmm. It's like the pain reward response kind of. Yeah, because I know like even like with parenting and stuff and studies, they show like part of the reason why children continue to misbehave is because even though they're being punished, they're actually being rewarded for the behavior. Like if it's a painful punishment, it's like, oh, but I actually was rewarded because you tapped into what I was actually looking for, which was attention kind of thing.
Yeah, we got attention, or we got some kind of forward march of progress, right?
Yes, like, right, yeah.
It feels like something's advanced.
Yeah, and everyone's like, well, I don't understand why they keep repeating this behavior when they get punished over and over. It's like, well...
And also it feels powerful in a way if you can take on something that you were afraid of and then, feel like you challenged and won, right?
They've shown one of the greatest achievements of a child is the ability to rouse an adult. The ability to get an adult shaken is like a power trip. So let me just preface this by saying that I work in child therapy and child help.
Can confirm.
So I'm not just talking out of my butt, but they that the two things that children look for is attention and power, and so those are the two areas. And so I wonder, so that does kind of answer a little bit of my question of like of these routinely sought after painful experiences that people put themselves through with things like gaming and sports and extreme sports and what else? I'm sure there's plenty of other things.
Yeah.
I don't know. So yeah, I don't know.
Good insights.
It's just an interesting thing to think about, I guess. So anyways, what's up? What's kicking?
Well, probably the end of this podcast.
Well, then it's kicking out.
We're kicked out.
Booting.
Shutting down. This is why I need my own podcast studio, so they can't kick me out. They can't shut down my First Amendment rights. I need to speak. I need to get my word out.
Oh my gosh. Sorry, you're limited to an hour. That's it. That's all you got. This is probably over an hour, but.
You think what is the longest podcast? Do you think people do like 5-hour podcasts?
I'm sure. I'm sure they do.
Like
I know I've seen like 3-hour ones, like 2.5, maybe 3 hours.
I think that could be reasonable though. If you have like a good cast and like.
Isn't Joe Rogan does that, right?
Huh?
The Joe Rogan experience, like Joe Rogan does. I think he has, like, his podcast episodes are really long.
They have guests and stuff, right? Like high-profile people. They want to have a long conversation with them and stuff.
Yeah, and he just goes till, they kind of run out of things to talk about. And I guess you would if you had a really interesting guest, but we don't. We just have each other, and we're...
Two very uninteresting guests.
Very uninteresting guests interviewing each other and rambling on.
That'll be our next intro. Welcome to Two Uninteresting Guests. Here with us today is our first and interesting guest.
And when we're in the distance, you'll hear this whispered tune. So long, very well, big cheerio, we'll be back soon.
Okay.
I think we should just cut it right there. And then
Yes,
people will be
cut.
like, wow, that was a really uninteresting ending. How fitting.
That's what we do. We're deadpan crickets.
I love you, bye-bye.